Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Bring It On. Let's enter the Temple of Woedica.
Sure.
In front of you looms the ghostly, hollow image of the man who is present at your awakening. He casts a pale, sickly light in the dank corridor as he regards you.
You are from Kratom, my boy.
His words are an echo in your mind from a time long past, and you know your response before you speak it, as if it has always been. I came to live there years ago.
A remarkable city. Truly one of the most impressive we have encountered outside of our own. Many exceptional people who have joined our cause come from Kratom. What made you decide to join our order?
I'm honestly not sure.
As long as you are assured in your faith, the rest is not so important.
The man chuckles.
Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
I am.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
I wonder what this is.
Alright, let's try approaching with caution instead. Yeah, I figured this was going to be trapped.
The work of a moment.
Girdle of Mortal Protection. Minus 27% crit damage taken. Often purchased by soldiers with the means, these belts are laden with charms granting protection to the wearer. Though a simple band of dark leather, this particular girdle provides a defense against killing blows, putting a blade aside at the final moment, or else cushioning a strike from a blunt object.
Aye?
You think you hear the faint sound of whispering coming from the skulls, but the words are unintelligible. That was a nice little find.
I'm here.
Not the flashiest belt. Didn't expect to find people down here. The mercenary eyes you warily as you approach, his weapon readied. What are you doing here? You don't look like one of that masked lot. I left my mask inside. Let me pass. He thinks carefully, then nods. Alright then. Go on in and report to the Acolyte, and she'll give you your assignment. They should be just about finished with their meeting in the big chamber. Any idea what's going on around here? A word of advice, friend. Don't ask questions. Just go and do what you're told. I'm gonna ask another question anyway. Know anything about this place? He shakes his head. As far as can tell, we're underneath first fires. Probably under that ruined temple. Farewell.
Slowly now.
Alright, hang to the south first.
I'll take a look. Slow and silent.
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, if we didn't have a way to talk away, or if we didn't have the means to talk away past the guard, so we would have had our hands full with mercenaries. Aloth falters and brings a hand to his forehead. Takes a staggering step forward, coughing and sputtering.
Back you, Claude! Those hooded fiends are nigh to be trusted!
Do you need a moment?
While Ginny regards Aloth with equal measures of annoyance and suspicion. He grimaces, catching his breath. It's nothing. I'm fine. He coughs again. This probably isn't the best place to linger, anyhow.
Slowly now.
You hear murmurs and chants on the other side of the door. A ritual of some sort is already underway. You beckon your party to follow you into the chamber. You open the door and stride into the chamber, motioning for the rest of your party to accompany you. There's no reason to leave them behind. Unless you went in by yourself, you could talk your way out of it. But if you show up with your whole party, they take that as a sign of aggression. Not too late now. Several shrouded figures are lined up across from a hooded woman. The figure at the head of the line approaches her, and the woman places her outstretched hand on the stranger's forehead. They stand in silent communion as you look on. A few moments later, the stranger steps aside and resumes his place in the circle around the statue. All eyes in the room fall on you. You hear quick, angry mutters being exchanged. Brothers, sisters, an intruder walks among us. Deal with him. Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Hey.
That's not how that's supposed to play out.
Settle!
Try knocking him back again.
Quick!
Alright, split up the party. Like so. Also, yeah, that's not how we're positioned. Palangino's behind my character when we first came in here.
That's not very helpful.
Alright, take this jokester down. Job well done. Crumpled at your feet lies the body of a woman, who wears a dark robe that bears an insignia resembling a key. As you approach the woman's body, feelings of rage assault you. The dead woman's voice howls in your ears, and her lingering consciousness rends at yours. Her essence tingles through your bones and membranes. It fills the spaces between your ears and behind your eyes, falling deeper into your core. You see a gathering of men and women wearing robes like hers, their faces hidden behind masks. One by one they approach her, whom they know as an acolyte, as she places her hand on each of their foreheads, searching their thoughts. She tests them with ritualistic questions, and they answer that their oath is sealed by the Leaden key. As she asks them of their tasks, she gives them new ones, all without a word. Try to see the tasks. Her essence flares, fighting to boil your blood, burn your memory, and splinter your bones from within. Yet between its strikes, you see flashes of something else, a tower, a prisoner, and a ruin. You funnel all of your concentration into a single effort of will, a sharp point that pins the raging soul in place like an insect in a display case. With the thing under control, you're able to examine it and the three thoughts swirling inside. Examine the thought about the tower. You see a palimpsest of a neighborhood. Rundown estates are cobbled around a cemetery and an ancient tower. Savage shapes prowl the streets, and in the tower a man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can't see him clearly, but there's something unnatural about him. Somewhere nearby, you see a woman with a scar over her heart. You understand that she has something he needs. Oh, this is in Heritage Hill. There was that tower we couldn't enter. And there was the woman, the undead woman, in the house that had the prisoners. You also see a door in the base of the tower, a seemingly impenetrable slab of stone and copper. But then the acolyte reveals the invisible split between the perfectly matched halves, and you understand how the copper veins convert a command into action. You know how to open the door. Fantastic. Inquire about the prisoner. In your mind, you see a building, magnificent with trellises and tiles, and located on a pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin. Yet it also houses misery and madness. Somewhere within its rotten core sits a man, his hair matted but his eyes alert. He watches and waits, a prisoner by choice. Oh, there's that locked door in the sanitarium that we couldn't get past. I was trying to remember a prisoner in the sanitarium, but we didn't see one because we couldn't get past the door. A look into the ruins. The Acolyte's vision takes you out of Defiance Bay, into a town in the wilderness with a watermill. A signpost on one of the paths reads Deerford. Several figures huddled together, shrouded in cloaks and hoods. An image of ruin suddenly looms in your mind. Two skeletal effigies flank a cleft in a mountainside. Back away. Lead key. A lead key covered in a dark blue-hued patina.
Sure.
Whether by design or by consequence of the sputtering candlelight, the hooded statue's face is almost impossible to see.
Sure. Laying low.
Orca Defiance can be used by a ranger, plus 25 defense against charmed, confused attacks, plus 10 defense against dominated attacks, plus 10 concentration. Have a unique description. We'll go and give that to our ranger.
And what does the flame reveal?
Devotees have placed assorted keys, their teeth filed away among the runnels of wax.
Reveal.
I'll take a look.
Before we go this other way, yes, this is actually better. We'll sell. Well, hold on. Yeah, her cloak is definitely better. Alright, nothing new here. Just gonna throw those in the stash. Alright, let's finish exploring this place before we go through that other door. And we have 2 potential leads within Defiance Bay itself. Oh, they are now hostile. I could have just left, but... Well, since we're here.
I'm ready.
You're not.
Lover beyond sea.
Really, this is for the best anyway. Can't leave any witnesses. They all saw our face when we walked in.
Lover.
And they all have precious loot that I don't want to leave behind.
Lover.
Let's go.
Alright, that's the same spells as before, so I'm not going to bother looking at it with Aloth. Or Aloth.
Be cautious. Be constant.
One of these days I'll get it right.
Lava will beyond sea. That's it.
Slowly now.
I'll take a look.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Okay, I've read that before.
Nice and slow.
A book lies on the table. Its pages filled with some kind of unintelligible cryptography. Alright, let's head back over here. Also, Sagani leveled up. Let's take care of that. Alright, let's get Predator Sense, because we have a few dots in the party. So, heightens the predatory instincts of the ranger's animal companion, giving them a damage bonus on any creature suffering a damage over time effect. Plus 50% damage against targets affected by a dot. Which both the main character can apply, Sagani herself can apply. I think he has a couple ways to apply it as well, Durance does. I don't remember which ones. I know if we're fighting vessels, this will.
I'm ready.
Why
Why are their health values so small? Adair's is fine. Aloth's, I think, looks a little smaller than Adair's. That could just be me. But Durance's, my main characters especially.
Yeah.
Why are they so small? I don't know what I did.
Sure.
Okay.
A moment, please. I feel I should explain myself. How may I help? About my episode in the catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier.
Cross your arms. Wait. He clasps his hands together, slowly massaging a knuckle with his thumb. I meant no harm. I thought I could keep it to myself. That when we resolve the matter of your soul, we'd also address my problem.
I also have an awakened soul. But unlike yours, mine is a presence that shares my senses and my skin, making herself manifest at the most unwelcome times.
He sighs. He closes his eyes and grits his teeth. His lips quiver and twitch with the vestiges of some internal debate. Several seconds later, he opens his eyes again. They're watery and bloodshot.
I'm sorry. I've tried to learn to control Isilmir. I've gotten stronger, but so has she.
He shakes his head. Why didn't you say something sooner?
I learned to keep her a secret a very long time ago. Those with awakened souls are shunned, mistrusted. And after your experience with Meerwald, I'm certain you can see why. You need to be careful.
He shakes his head, and he looks up at you. Tell me about Isilmir.
Artless, uncouth, a creature of rash impulses and feeble faculties. She wags her impertinent tongue when she should listen.
He winces, his expression rippling between control and chaos.
Aye, this one's fit to boil. Hard to get this gaff over anything tisn't to do with books and spell speak.
His face flickers with a sly grin. He grimaces, running his hands through his hair. I have none of her memories. Bareth spared me that much. But her coarse manners and intolerable hill speak suggest a provincial from a very, very long time ago. She tends to surface a hair's breadth from conflict, when the fuse is burned down and teeth are on edge. And when she shows up, she doesn't stop to gauge the situation. She just acts. She seems reckless. That's it exactly. Recall the way she goaded those villagers in Gilded Vale. She doesn't think, and she doesn't back down. And trying to suppress that has been my problem for years. Is this going to be a problem?
Merely an annoyance. Although...
He purses his lips into a thin, crooked line. He lowers his voice and claps his hands behind his back. Minute twitches and spasms along his arms betray his fidgeting.
Defiance Bay is said to have an entire institution dedicated to the study and cure of soul-related ailments. Since our journeys have already brought us to the city, perhaps we could speak with someone there.
We'll see. I can't make any promises.
Of course. I understand.
Gives you a sharp nod, avoiding your gaze. Now let's talk about something else. Aloth looks at you with quiet attentiveness. How may I be of service? I'd like to know more about Isilmir. He raises an eyebrow. Such as? When did she awaken? My father was a strict man. He expected the best from his only child, and he didn't tolerate failure. His face becomes drawn. At times he could be rather adamant, particularly when he'd been drinking. Isilmir manifested on one such occasion. To be honest, I don't remember the specifics, only that he was more careful with me after that. You said that you learned to hide her a long time ago. My mother instructed me to keep her a secret after she first emerged. She feared that knowledge of my awakening would render me an outcast. Even though Isilmir proved useful against my father, I trusted my mother's advice, and I've since come to see the wisdom behind it. Meerwald is an extreme example, but one that I can relate to more and more each year. I talk directly to her. He gives you a top frown. Her usurpations are uncomfortable enough. I'm not eager to invite her into my consciousness more than necessary. Alright, let's discuss something else. Indeed. That's all.
Right.
Okay, so we have two things to do at the sanitarium. But first I want to go and talk to the steward with about that letter.
Right.
Aw,
Looks a little healthier than before.
I missed my brutish warrior.
My lord, you've received a letter, delivered with some urgency as it happens. I thought the messenger might swoon, poor dear. It's from Stalwart. Apparently the mayor, Renengild, has heard of your success here at Cadnua, and hopes you can be of aid to her people as well.
It's a long way for a letter.
People like you come few and far between. And in this case, I believe Renengild is correct in suggesting that your experiences here may give you an edge. It seems she's intent on gaining access to Durgan's battery. And she's offering quite the reward to anyone who can get inside.
There's no real reason to select the lore option. You don't get experience for it. And I also don't know what Durgan's battery is. So I'm going to ask, what is Durgan's battery?
The dwarves of the battery fashioned Durgan's steel, and with it they crafted the finest arms and armor the Deerwood has ever known. But the keep has been abandoned for centuries, and none remain that know their secrets. There are many legends concerning the battery. As the Earl told it, the dwarves fought amongst themselves, each seeking to use the battery to further his or her own ambitions. Greed and cruelty brought down the battery, and now the spirits of those same dwarves roam the halls. Whatever happened, the battery has been impenetrable ever since. A shame. I don't doubt that there are great treasures still within those halls.
Perhaps I'll pay Stalwart a visit. I'm sure the wonders of the battery are a marvel to behold. If the passes through White March were to open again, it would be boon to merchants of the Republics. And the Deerwood, of course.
I should mention that among those rumored to have answered Renengild's summons is a certain group I believe you may have an interest in. Followers of Woedica, intent on reaching Stalwart and the battery. I do not know what they seek there, but I thought it worth mentioning, given your interest in the ruins at Defiance Bay. Now that I've delivered Renengild's message, there is also a local matter of some concern, my lord. A mercenary band has been sighted to the northeast. I believe they mean to take Consul Hot's tower, and I don't expect the Archmage will go quietly.
Consul Hot's one of the greatest wizards of our generation!
Aloth fidgets and flutters, vacillating between anxiety and excitement. He appears to be at a loss for words.
The Torn Bannermen are a deadly fighting force, and Consul Hot himself has sent many travelers to their graves. I would caution you to stay clear of the region if you do travel to the White March. It is not that I doubt your courage, my lord, but Consul Hot alone boasts power of a different scale altogether to those foes you have faced thus far. Given more time, perhaps, you will match him. If the Bannermen succeed in their efforts, I fear they may turn their attention to Cadnua. I will keep you apprised of the situation, my lord.
Who is Consul Hot?
A famed archmage. I am given to understand that the Brackenberry Sanitarium puts much stock in his work, as regards the manipulation of the soul. His spells are widely circulated. But he is poorly regarded in many circles. Some call him a madman, or else cruel and barbarous. He must be very old by now. Perhaps that is why the Torn Bannermen believe they can best him.
The steward pauses. Do you know anything else about these mercenaries?
Little enough, I'm afraid. The Torn Bannermen are well supplied and well organized, and there are rumors that they are backed by an unknown benefactor. They have proved remarkably effective in the past, and they are certainly a threat now.
Farewell.
Safe travels, my lord.
Okay, a few things to do. I think I'm going to focus on the quest in Defiance Bay first. Okay, so we'll park here for now. Next episode, we'll return to Defiance Bay. I think we'll start with the Sanitarium for Aloth's quest and looking for the prisoner. And then we'll pursue the tower. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.